Good evening, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy. Tonight's top story, the Hyperloop. What is the Hyperloop, you ask? It's a theoretical transportation concept proposed by billionaire playboy philanthropist Elon Musk. It is supposed to replace the very costly and extravagant Californian high-speed rail. Coming in at over $68 billion, it is destined to be the most expensive public works project in U.S. history. Let's take a closer look. The concept for the Hyperloop is very similar to the Californian high-speed rail, but with a few key differences. Firstly, the train will not run on exposed tracks. Rather, it will run inside a steel tube where all the air has been evacuated from. The maglev systems that are used on many high-speed rail systems would instead be replaced with air bearings, used from the rest of the air that would remain in the tube. The top speed of the Hyperloop is estimated to be over 1,200 kilometers an hour. That's fast enough to get from LA to San Francisco in only 30 minutes. Here at Channel 8 News, we wanted to get the beat on the street, so we asked Forrest Treneman about his opinion of the Hyperloop.
I think it'd be really good for people who are working between San Francisco and Los Angeles. It just give them a really quick way to commute back and forth, and it would be much more cost effective than flying or driving. And because it's solar powered, right? Yeah, so it would be very low impact on the environment.
One of the main competitors of the Hyperloop is air travel. So we asked an engineering student, Micah, a member of the West Coast Hyperloop Alliance, to voice his opinion.
I think depending on the experience and the wait times like that and cost, of course, would all be factored into whether I'd take that instead of air travel. Air travel at the moment, it is very, it's decently fast, but it's also tedious having to go through like all the security checks and everything. So it'd be interesting to see how they'd implement a security check for something like a 20-man pod or something like that, 28-man pod. How security would be on that versus an airliner. So depending on that and like the, of course, cost.
Finally, we wanted to investigate the feasibility behind the Hyperloop. We asked Dr. Brad Buckham, professional engineer and professor at the University of Victoria, what kind of hurdles he foresaw.
The first thing that jumped into mind is that it seems like it would be technically feasible. I mean, there's similar technologies in play, on high-speed trains, and the idea of air bearings and, railgun technology for launching projectiles, things like that. So I thought, okay, well, that's interesting. I did jump to the question why. Some of the speeds they were talking about, there was an idea of a Hyperloop highway, and you could travel, I can't remember, was it LA to San Francisco? And they were talking about average speeds of, if I remember correctly, over 900 kilometers an hour. So I'm reading average speed over 900 kilometers an hour. I'm thinking about the acceleration period to get up to speed, and the fact that there might be peak velocities that are obviously higher than the average over that duration. And I was thinking about the ability of the human passenger to sustain, not the speeds, but there has to be some accelerations, some g-forces there. So my first thought was of jet fighter pilots and the training they go through to be able to control their body to resist the effects of g-force for a few seconds at a time. And the idea of riding, a 10 or 20 minute ride, I'm not sure how long it would be, but that was the first thing I thought about.
Wow, what a story. Compelling and rich. That's all the time we have for today. Will the Hyperloop take off, or is it doomed to be a sarcophagus missile? Only time will tell. Thank you for watching, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy.